Well, hello and welcome to Battle of Champions. We're coming to you live from Adelaide, but all the action was down there in Sydney because now we have the one semi-finalist result and we have that one finalist that have made it through to the final stage, and that is Pakistan. They were up against New Zealand and it was expected to be a tough game considering Pakistan just scraped through it and just reached the final with great difficulty, the semi-final with great difficulty. But New Zealand on the other hand were the dominating team. They topped their group and you expected that they'd be the favourites going ahead in this particular encounter. But Pakistan have done what Pakistan does best. When they have their backs against the wall, they come out with their best performance, and tonight was a dominating performance from the men in green. 153 is what they were chasing, and they reached there with comfort, you would say, with 7 wickets in hand, half centuries for both Babar Azam and Mohammad Rizwan, and then Mohammad Haris also chipped in with 30 odd. So a good dominating batting performance from the Pakistan team. We'll talk about all the details, how New Zealand batted, what could be those things that they could have done right, what are the things that Pakistan got right. With me, Sunny Gavaskar. We'll also be joined by Pragya Anuja. Sunny bhai, we were talking about before this game started when we were live on India today, and I asked you that we keep talking about old Pakistan teams that when the chips are down, they find a way to fight back and then reach the final. And we didn't know whether this team is like the '92 team. They're proving that they are.
They are, certainly. Look, I mean, it's always been with Pakistan. You never know which team turns up to play because it's a world-beating team which can beat the best of the world, or they can lose to a pretty ordinary team. That's how they've been playing. The ups and downs are unbelievable. The swings are really wide. Unlike most of the teams where they'll play maybe the odd bad match, which is again where they don't lose by a big margin, but Pakistan can lose by a big margin. Over here, they lost to India and Zimbabwe of last ball, so it wasn't that they were thrashed in those games. Yes. So they lost, but they came back well. They had a bit of luck with South Africa being beaten by Netherlands. They had a bit of luck, but that's what the game is about. In fact, I remember saying before the tournament started, maybe on this, that India to win will need a bit of luck. Cricket, sport, you need a bit of luck. In tennis, you might need a little bit of that net cord, which can be the difference, between when you're winning and the opponent gets that point. All those little things that matter, which you don't try to do deliberately, but it just happens. So now we've got to see what happens tomorrow.
Okay, we've also got Harbhajan Singh joining us. Harbhajan, Pakistan now looking like a strong team, seem like a team that will be tough to beat in the finals, irrespective of who makes it between India and England.
Yes, most certainly. I think they look like a team, and they will come with from those performances they were doing earlier, and they didn't look the team what they looked actually today. Rizwan and Babar, and of course their bowling lineup. Everyone performed, and it seems like that lifeline they got actually helped them a lot in terms of their confidence, and they kind of regrouped together and they played a brilliant cricket together to win the semi-final and get to the final. This is obviously commendable.
Okay, as Harbhajan is pointing out, they got a few lifelines as well. And you spoke about luck, that India would need luck to reach the final or even lift the trophy. Today, Pakistan had that luck. Babar dropped pretty early. Another drop catch towards the latter half of the inning. Easy run out I saw being missed. So, I mean, out of all the teams, New Zealand dropping catches, not being top of the mark in fielding.
Well, that is exactly what a knockout game does. There's no tomorrow. There's no comeback. In a knockout game, you're gone. So that pressure is incredible. In a league game, you always know, okay, there's another game. When you get to the semi-finals and the finals, just one match. That pressure is hard sometimes for the best of teams. For the what looked like the coolest of teams, the most composed of teams, something goes wrong and they lose it. And that's what seemed to have happened with New Zealand today. Because they're generally an outstanding fielding unit. But when they got out for 152 in their 20 overs, that was never going to be enough. I thought 160, 7.5 runs and over is a chance if you get early wickets. But if you don't get early wickets, then you'll always feel that those extra 10, 15 runs you're probably 10, 15 runs short.
That was going to be my next question. They get to 152 with just 4 wickets down, with so many wickets remaining. Maybe there should have been a bit more adventurous. I saw the score at what, 100 for 3 in about 14 overs, 6 overs to go. You say minimum with 7 wickets in hand, 6, 7 overs to go, you'd get 160, 170, would could have been a competitive total. Somewhere that they regret in hindsight not going.
Absolutely. Look, we're talking about 36 possible deliveries after the 14th over. You're talking about 36 possible deliveries, and you have wickets in hand. You're looking at about 70. At least 2 runs a ball is what you're looking at. And if that doesn't happen, at least you get 60.
Yeah.
So you would have got from 100, you would have got to 160, 165. That didn't happen. So New Zealand will have to really look at the composition of their 11. Yes, you can say, but they got to the semi-finals without a problem. But there were areas in their batting particularly which needed to be looked at, and I think they'll certainly have to do a lot of homework.
Okay, Harbhajan, Pakistan today, you would have thought, and most T20 games are close games. It's very rarely do you see a one-sided contest, let alone it being a World Cup semi-final where two best teams match up against each other. Yet Pakistan produced a one-sided encounter, considering that they won with 5 balls to spare, with 7 wickets in hand. You'd have to say one-sided encounter. Seemed like it was a team possessed. They had all their focus on reaching the final, and that's exactly what they've done.
I think they kind of understood the pitch. What sort of line length they need to bowl on such pitch, and of course Shaheen, he was brilliant with the first over itself. He have that habit of picking wicket in the first over itself, and that's where they kind of put the brake on their run rate, and taking those 3 early wicket of New Zealand also helped them to obviously achieve their target. And New Zealand, to be honest, they didn't look comfortable against Pakistan's bowling attack. They only scored 152, which was it was I felt they were like 20 runs short. I think they could have scored too many runs, but they missed a lot of opportunities. Ken Williamson and other batter, they took too many singles and double, and they didn't play this format like T20 format. So that's where they only scored 152, which was obviously not too much for Pakistan to chase.
Okay, Pragyan Oja also joins us live on the program. Pragyan, you've joined us a bit late. We've been trying to wrap our heads around what does Pakistan do so well when they have their back against the wall, when the chips are really down. We had Sunny Gavaskar, Harbhajan Singh weigh in on this. I'd love to know your thoughts as well. They were almost done and dusted in this tournament. They had to rely on an unusual victory of Netherlands over South Africa. They make it to the semi-final. Right now, such a clinical performance by them. They are doing exactly what Pakistan does. Do the unexpected.
See, they without a doubt, it is a very good side. We have seen them do really well over the couple of years. But this tournament, they looked a little mismatched. They started slow. They were not in that rhythm that normally we see them do last couple of years. But saying that, you have to understand one thing I said earlier as well, that this team, they've come together. They're playing like one unit. If you see, they were trying to make sure that everybody is there for each other, and those small things, because skill was always there. I was just listening to what Matthew Hayden, their batting consultant, said. He said that I am expecting a very, very important knock from Babar Azam. So this is the confidence that they have on each other, and this is the tone that they're using before a semi-final. That shows that they were very determined. And let me tell you, New Zealand were taken by surprise. The entire game, Pakistan did not let them have a good session. They were totally out. If you look at the faces of each New Zealand player, they were looking as if they were surprised, they were taken aback, because this was the Pakistan team which was struggling a couple of games ago. Now you see how they changed the momentum. And in a tournament like this, to change the momentum, you need some special performance. Last 2 games that they lost, Shaheen Shah Afridi did not pick wicket. You see what he did this game. First over, he picked wicket. And you see, they knew that their opening batsmen
Right.
are doing well. They are the ones who have to perform. They delivered at the crunch moment. So that is what Pakistan has done really well.
Right, that's very interesting from Pragyan. It's very unusual to see a Pakistan team so well knit, playing like a team. Usually, they're a team of individuals, brilliant individuals at that, and one of them is a maverick who goes ahead and wins the tournament for them. This is slightly different on that regard. It's not really a team of mavericks, it's a team of well knit guys playing together.
Well, you would say that, I mean, at the start, you would probably say that, no, maybe that was not what was happening. But, now because they've got to the finals, you're saying, oh, it's a well-knit team and all that. So, I mean, this is exactly how we are. I mean, we see a little bit, when you lose, you keep pointing fingers that this is what's happening, that is what's happening. You get into the finals, everything that you've done is, all that is forgotten. I don't think there was anything in the Pakistan team that looked different in this game than what we saw in the first game. It's just that their skipper didn't score runs. The opening, they were not getting the opening partnerships that actually stabilizes. You're chasing 152 in the first 6-8 overs. You don't get a wicket.
Yeah.
That's exactly, they didn't lose a wicket. That was the key. Because look, every time we say in IPL, everything, the power play, whoever wins the power play goes on to win the match
Yes.
more often than not. And there are two power plays, both times, in both the innings. So if you win both those power plays, and Pakistan won both those power plays, so clearly they were going to win.
Okay, that's very well put by Sunny Gavaskar. If you see their bowling, got those early breakthroughs. Finn Allen had been dangerous. Conway had been dangerous. They got them out pretty early. And from there on, when they came out to bat, that power play was outstanding. Two of their openers that haven't been doing very well in this tournament, they came to the party, got that good partnership going. 105 runs is what they put together, and that's what laid the foundation for a Pakistan victory. They won by 7 wickets with 5 balls to still go in the game. Pakistan won that semi-final versus New Zealand by 7 wickets with 5 balls to go. A dominating performance from their openers in Rizwan as well as Babar Azam, and these are the two players that weren't really firing. I was there at the Asia Cup, and that's when it seemed like Pakistan relied heavily on their opening partnership. They had a non-existential middle order, a middle order that was really not firing, and it was only their openers that kept them in the hunt and took them to the final at the Asia Cup. This time around, it's been exactly the opposite. It's actually their middle order that's done well, though this particular semi-final, I think they saved their best for this semi-final. Both Babar and Rizwan getting those 105 runs together for that opening partnership that has helped them now reach, if I remember correctly, their third World T20 final. If 2007 was, I think, their first final, and then they followed it up in 2009 in the T20 World Cup played in England, and then now they've reached another T20 World Cup final. They reached the semi-final last time around, looked like a dominating team in the UAE, but couldn't take the next step forward. Pragyan Ojha, Harbhajan Singh, still with us on the program. Harbhajan, to you, and we were talking about two guys, two stars that they had. One, a batsman in Mohammad Rizwan, and I know you're a big fan of Mohammad Rizwan. The other was Shaheen Shah Afridi. Much was made of him. There were talks about whether he's fit, is he looking fit enough, is he bowling at his top level. But today, when it mattered, both Rizwan and Shaheen Shah Afridi have delivered.
Well, obviously, they must have sat down and thought about it, how to go about the semi-final. It was about the body language. It was, taking the responsibilities on their shoulder. And of course, senior players like Babar, Rizwan, and Shaheen, they have done brilliant work today for the team, and they led the team from the front. And credit to them, from where they have come, and they have reached into the semi-final. And a week back, we all thought Pakistan are going home, and now they are in the final, and the first one to qualify for the finals was a great achievement. So let's hope now India win the game and meet them in the finals. Simple as that. That'll be a brilliant game to watch.
Pragyan, to you, and now instead of just focusing on Rizwan, I'm also going to bring Babar Azam in. Babar Azam looked a shadow of himself. Even the last game, he got 25 odd. Many thought, okay, maybe this is a start of him getting back to form. But the way he got his 25 looked very scratchy, not timing the ball. And that was very rare to see from someone like Babar Azam. Yes, Babar could go through a phase where he wouldn't get run like any batsman, but very rare to see a classic batsman like Babar not being able to time the ball well, getting a lot of top edges. That's exactly what was happening to him. But looks like he saved his best for a crucial game like the semi-final.
First of all, we have seen this, lot of great players, or maybe, the modern day consistent players, they go through this patch. But it is very important how well they come back and at what point they come back. And I think this was the right time where Pakistan needed him to deliver. He delivered as a captain, as a leader, trying to keep the team together. And the best part, he returned back the trust that was shown on him. There were a lot of noise around their team, just cutting that noise, focusing on the game. When they got one lifeline, they made the most out of it. So Babar was nobody ever had a doubt that he's a class act, but everybody has that phase. It is good to see that he's got out of that phase. Now he looks really comfortable, and the best part is the entire team was looking determined, that they wanted to prove a point, that everybody has written them off. They wanted to show that no, they're better than that. So that's something really good, that they've come out and showed, and they've reached the finals. A few days ago, everybody said that I think Pakistan is not going to qualify, and they're the first team to go on to the finals. So as a leader, he must be very happy, and as a batsman, he should be comfortable now, and must be focusing on the finals, because this is just half job done. Now the most important game of their lives will be coming in few days.
Pragyan Oja, still with us. Pragyan, I wonder whether there was any sort of residue or some sort of impact that was based on the fact that these two teams, that is New Zealand and Pakistan, recently, ahead of this T20 World Cup, played a tri-series. And in that tri-series, Pakistan triumphed. They in fact beat the home side New Zealand in the final. That too, beating New Zealand in their home ground. Do you think that would have had an impact mentally going ahead into this encounter? Because once again, Pakistan have trumped New Zealand.
Absolutely. These things really matter. As you said, recently Pakistan went to New Zealand, beat them. That is a big, big thing. And when you face them in a semi-final, that adds to the worry for a team which has lost, and adds to the confidence of a team which has won. They knew that if they play well, they can put pressure on New Zealand, and that's what they did right from the ball one. If you see, New Zealand were not comfortable. That was only because they knew mentally that somewhere we have lost a home series to Pakistan, and now that Pakistan is just trying to put that pressure back on New Zealand, they never looked comfortable, and that is something which I think. Maybe they would have thought about it, discussed about it, and that's what they did right from the ball one. And New Zealand was never in the game.
Out, just the kind of clinical performance that Pakistan has given, and New Zealand then wasn't quite in the game with the performance they have given. I'm wondering, Pragyan, whether Indian fans would have had an eye on this encounter, and just as an Indian supporter, how do you see this? You reckon Indian fans would be happy Pakistan has made it, and if India does, they get a dream contest, or no? Because Pakistan is India's arch rivals, they would rather have had New Zealand make it to the final. Do you think it would have had any impact on Indian fans?
Absolutely, it does. People who follow keenly, they would have enjoyed the cricket that they saw today. A team which was down and beaten suddenly turns things around, and they play one of their best cricket, and they dominate a team which has been dominating the tournament. So it's a big statement. Changing the momentum is a big, big thing in T20 cricket. New Zealand's will look favorite. But one game things just turn around, and look what Pakistan has done. And when you talk about from India's point of view, yes, everybody must be thinking about, if India wins tomorrow, then I think it'll be a mega finals. And I think, no, I think whole world is going to stop. People who watch cricket, they're going to just that Sunday will be like a super Sunday. Hope that happens. But saying that, India has to play really well against England, because we saw this is a big lesson for all the teams, that you cannot take anything for granted. Best of the sides, best of the team with good momentum can lose a game. That is the beauty about a knockout game. So as long as you have won the game, I think you've not won it. So you have to be in the present. That's what this game showed us.
Okay, the Green Brigade have made it to their third T20 final. Pakistan, who barely made it through the group stage, have upset, and I'd say upset because New Zealand topped their group, have upset New Zealand. New Zealand played the final last time around, not this time. Pakistan missed out in the semi-final last round. They have made it to the final. Whether it's going to be a dream India versus Pakistan final, that we'd have to wait and watch. Before that, India would have to go past a very strong English team. How are the two teams? What are the equations? What could be the strategy? What could be the likely playing 11? We're going to talk about India versus England shortly, in about half an hour from now on India Today. So don't forget to tune in. We'll have our range of experts in Harbhajan Singh, Pragyan Oja, Sunil Gavaskar, all joining us live. You don't want to miss that. So see you then. For the moment, Nikhil Nath signing off from Adelaide.